What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if Chad should have died in Scream 2022. So I was thinking, I want to talk a little bit more about the specific characters in this past movie, or even talk about them going into the next one. And I thought to Chad, and I thought this would kind of be maybe an interesting conversation, and maybe more interesting because remember, and let's bring in this, the first script, right, that original draft, is that Chad was going to die. They're actually going to kill him off. He basically, I guess, got the Dewey equivalent where they liked him so much, but they liked him in terms of they liked, Mason Gooding as an actor, and they decided to keep him in. Not necessarily because of fan reaction, just because they liked it. And, well, that's the question. Now, here's what I would say, right? It's tough because I don't want to come across if I absolutely love or absolutely hate the two polar opposites. I liked the character of Chad. I thought he was a very solid character. I would put him in the middle. It was kind of the issue, right, that I've had and I've talked about with Sam. I think her being the leading lady, right, and kind of being for me, and I did a ranking. I ranked every single character in this movie. I put her kind of in the middle. I actually put her a little bit higher than what you would consider to be the middle, but as a leading person, that's maybe not so amazing. For Chad, I put him probably in the same spot. I actually don't remember where I ranked him, but I would imagine it's pretty 7, 8 out of 13, 14, 15 characters. So he's about half. And I don't think that's necessarily good, and I don't think it's necessarily bad, but the thing is he's a supporting character, right? He's not supposed to lead the movie in any way. Now, the reason I'm almost coming at this from a angle of, so should he have died? I almost come at it from an angle of yes, but again, to not sound too, I'm being too aggressive or I'm being too mean. The reason I would say something like that is only because, this is actually truly how I feel, is only because when you go into Scream 6, right, and we think, all right, well, how is 6 going to play out? And we say, all right, well, one of those two has to die. And the two we're talking about is Mindy and Chad, right? When you think about Scream 6, I don't think there's anybody in the Scream, diehard community that thinks all four of them, Tara, Sam, Mindy, Chad, would all make it out of Scream 6 alive. That they made it out of 5, they'd also make it out of 6. I really have yet to run now, maybe you guys think that, and definitely let me know in the comments. But in terms of who I've talked to or who I've seen, in comments, I really haven't seen that narrative that they're all so it could be too much of a stretch. It could be that I'm putting I'm putting too much on that one argument, which is totally valid, and as I always say in these videos, right, we don't have to agree. But when I think of the next movie and I think, all right, somebody's got to die, Chad is such an easy out. And the reason, and so because of that, I guess I should say, right, that's kind of why I'm I don't really need him. I don't really need him as a character to be in 6. I didn't need him to survive Scream 5. Does that make sense? If I immediately think out of these 4, who is easily the most killable, that you really wouldn't lose too much of huge character traits from, it would be him. Out of those 4. Now, if if you had a full cast and you say, okay, well, who could survive, who could die, maybe that changes, right? But out of those 4, you obviously, killing someone like Tara would be, that would be a very bold but probably very stupid decision. Sam, you could do a lot of very cool, very interesting things with her. Mindy is definitely your Randy type character. The thing I guess you could do with Chad, and again, it's the thing, when it comes to this movie, the movie that we just had, he really wasn't that much of a, I wouldn't say he stole any scenes. I don't want to be mean to the guy. I've seen him behind the scenes in interviews, and I think he did a Twitch Among Us live stream. He seems like a really, cool guy, behind the scenes. So this is nothing against the actor. This is nothing against him as a person. It's just the character, much like Amber, much like Liv, much like even, you could argue Wes, right? A lot of characters just weren't, or Vince, they weren't in this movie. This movie, Scream 5, was propelled by a couple key characters, right? Mainly Sam, Richie, Dewey. Those would probably be the top 3. And everybody else, Tara had her big moments, Sydney and Gail had her, but everybody else really was pretty, Mindy obviously was here and there. You know what I mean? So with Chad, it's tough. I don't really think, and I guess it's a testament to them, and it's completely up to them. I'm not saying oh, my decision is final or my decision is best. They liked him. They decided to keep him around. That's awesome. I do think you could do some cool stuff with him because, as I've always said, one of my main issues with the Scream franchise is I guess, reacting to what has happened. Now, because it's a movie, and I've said this 1,000 times before, right? I get it. Because it's a movie, I get it. You have to move very, very quick. There's not time like in a TV show, and the Scream TV show did this, where you could have like an entire episode almost just to grieve something, because you have multiple characters, you have a long time, you can stretch these character arcs and these plot points, you have a long time, there's a lot of breathing room. In a movie, you don't have that, right? So it's I guess you have a very short amount of time, make it count. And these movies have not, in fact, in my opinion, haven't done that very often at all, and that is a criticism I have. But for Chad, I guess what I'm going at is Liv. Liv was a character that was, in my opinion, I liked her. I think as an actress, she did an incredibly good job. Her first major acting role, so, kudos to her. And I think she was fine. Again, she just wasn't in the movie enough to really make too much of an impact, although her conversation with Mindy was really good. But the point is, obviously she died and Chad didn't die. You could do something there. You could. You really could. You could do something actually with several characters losing somebody. You could do something with Sam losing Richie. Now, they did do stuff in terms of like Sydney's psyche, right, in like Scream 1 through 3, in terms of her trust of people. That's easily the best job that they've done with kind of the like long-term effects of something like this happening to a character, right? So for Chad, like, I would be looking forward to if they would ever bring Liv back up. Does he have any remorse for it? Could he be, I know there's still the theories out there, could there be 3 killers in this past movie? If there is, I do think Chad could potentially be a suspect to that, right? Could be Sam, could be Chad, whatever. And that's if the theory, if they go with that theory. If they don't, they don't, and that's the case, right? So it's tough. I would say in terms of just this movie, just in Scream 5, there really wasn't enough of a reason, in my opinion, to keep him. He was kind of a like a 33% of Mindy. Does that mean like he wasn't? I don't even know. I guess it's almost a character assassination at this point, where I'm really going at him. I liked him, but he just really didn't stand out. And anything he did stand out in, with like questioning people, was very much like what Mindy filling in the Randy role. That's what he kind of filled in. Now because they're Meeks, can you do anything to them? Are they like unkillable in that way? I don't think so. Actually, I really don't think so at all. So I don't think that would get in the way at all. But I don't know. I actually don't know why they kept his character alive, because him and Mindy are very much alike, but she's clearly, you can tell it from how many scenes she got. You can tell it from the writing. You can tell it from the characters. She's the main, right? There's the 2 of them. They're twins, but she's very clearly the leader. And so if one of them was expendable, it would be him, which is why I think they made it seem like he was just going to die, in the trailer, and then obviously in the movie he almost died, and obviously he wasn't. So it's tough. I guess I would definitively say, if I had to give my opinion, I don't need him in the next movie. I'm completely up for it. I'm not going to say like kill Chad immediately. I need him to be the opening kill. No, I just don't necessarily think you needed to have kept him alive in this movie. And maybe they maybe they do something really strange and they kill. But however, I think I've even seen this in other videos. I'm pretty sure the 2 of them, Mason and Jasmine, I'm pretty sure they've both said they fully believe one of them would die in the next movie, to kind of like add stakes and the fact that they kind of like have to. So I think even them as humans, acting as these roles, I even think they know full well that like, that this is going to happen, that it's really unrealistic to think they can both make it. And so I guess, again, the question that I would ask in this video as well, was it even necessary to get to that point? I guess it was always that point. Even in Scream 5, it's the same thing. You don't probably kill both, but you probably would kill one. So if you would kill one, who would it be? It would be Chad. And then you go into the next movie, and ironically, you have to ask yourself now the exact same question. Well, does it really make sense for both to be alive? No, you have to kill one. So again, it could be, but yet that's probably where they pull the rug under us and they kill, they kill Mindy instead. We'll see how it goes. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. If you guys want to support me anywhere else, all my social media, as always, is in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next Scream video.